at the Ambassador and Mrs. E. F. Drumright's Ink Diplomacy exhibition in December 2020. The second exhibition room featured the works of Mrs. Drumright's painting and calligraphy teachers. Next to this description plaque was a calligraphy piece that read, "Wielding the brush like a swift sword to slay serpents and dragons. Tan Shu, signed in regular script with the seals of Yuan Tan Shu and Yu Run Lu, means the elegant jade studio." You might see this as an ordinary piece of regular script calligraphy, but never imagine that it took me almost 3 years to confirm this name, and another 3 years to uncover who she really was and the story behind her. My thoughts drifted back to May 19, 2014, when I gave my first lecture related to Chinese art to the study group of the Asian Art Council, AAC, at the San Diego Museum of Art, SDMA. The topic was Chinese art, landscape paintings in SDMA and the Chinese modern art, paintings of Master Wu Yi. Sitting in the front row was someone I must first thank, Mr. Gordon Broadfur. Not only was he a major collector, but also a board trustee of the SDMA and a board member of the AAC. For over 20 years, he dedicated his efforts and resources, inviting experts to introduce Asian arts and cultures to the AAC members monthly. He introduced me to the AAC and was also my children's piano teacher. At the end of the lecture, I suggested having experts to authenticate these paintings, to correct and to update the databases of digital archives, as well as to organize a Chinese painting exhibition. After hearing my talk, Gordon, along with all the AAC board members, arranged a lecture on Chinese painting for my teacher, Chinese landscape painting master Wu Yi, on March 28, 2015. He also sought experts to evaluate the museum's collection of Chinese paintings. As a result, at the year-end luncheon in 2014, AAC invited an expert, Dr. Stephen Little, to have a lecture and would later conduct the evaluations. Having seen my lecture materials beforehand, I introduced myself to him when he arrived. He immediately thanked me. Since he had a schedule to conduct the appraisal in January, I asked if I could join him to view the paintings. He agreed readily. So on January 7th and 8th, 2015, Gordon and I participated in this appraisal feast. Dr. Marika Sardar, the SDMA's associate curator at the time, was responsible for arranging the entire appraisal process. During lunch, I noticed Dr. Little reviewing several pages of material. When he set them down, I asked if I could take a look. Each page was in a format like this, with small paintings in each grid. I then learned he had received such files in advance, selecting which paintings to examine. Dr. Sardar would then have the staff retrieve them for viewing. While flipping through, I suddenly saw a calligraphy piece that read, Mo Yin Yuan means the predestined relationship with brush and ink. I asked Dr. Little, "Did you select this calligraphy?" He replied, "No." After the appraisal concluded, I wrote to Dr. Sardar, asking if she had information on this calligraphy. I mentioned it was possibly a calligraphy album, as the title included the words Yin Yuan, the predestined relationship, suggesting multiple pages. Unexpectedly, she quickly looked it up and replied that my guess was correct. There were indeed 20 calligraphy pieces. She sent me the only 2 photos available at the time, one by President Chiang Kai-shek which read, "To Mrs. Ambassador Drumright, when the Great Way prevails, the world belongs to all." Inscribed by Chiang Kai-shek, with his seal below. The other was a short poem by Shi Yi. Just forgot yesterday's dream yet clearly saw a smile within the dream. A small poem from over 30 years ago. To Mrs. Florence Drumright, Shi Yi, June 10, 1961, with the seal of Shi Yi below. The rest were 17 English names. These English names took me 4 months to decipher. By May 11, 2015, When I shared this discovery on the ELM, edited by Professor Hong-Chao, there were still 4 unidentified Chinese names. Additionally, on the cover provided by Dr. Sardar, there was a signature. At the time, unfamiliar with cursive script, I mistakenly read it as Tan Lin Shu. Searching online yielded no results, except for a New York-based broadcasting host. After exhaustive searches, I wondered if it might be Tan Lin with the left side character as a king, but not like 3 water droplets. This led me to Mr. Lu Su, originally named Jin Qijian, 1919 to 1996. In his chronology, there was a painting of red plum blossoms by Tan Lin, inscribed as Plum Blossoms and Lotus for Celebration. Buddhist characters surrounded the painting. It looks like the artwork I recreated here. In addition, it also listed 2 well-known calligraphers, Mr. Yuying and Mr. Luo Jialuan, with their calligraphies similarly surrounded with Buddhist characters as Tan Lin's. The name recorded as Tan Lin with the left side character as king. Thus, I assumed her correct name was Tan Lin, and guessed she was a Buddhist. Time passed until April 20, 2015, when I gave my second lecture on Chinese painting. Months earlier, Dr. Sardar had informed the AAC study group members that presenters could request in advance to have 2 authentic pieces retrieved from vaults for viewing during their talks. She later told me I was the only one who applied. I immediately requested to see 2 ancient paintings, donated by Mr. S.M. Xiao, whose donation was the second most in my summary report on landscape paintings. Owing to ancient paintings, they were my initial interests when researching. Dr. Sardar replied that older paintings were more fragile, and suggested I choose more recent works. I then selected 2 items donated by Ambassador and Mrs. Drumright. One was the calligraphy album Mo Yin Yuan. On the cover page, the title is Chinese Calligraphy, Tan Shu inscribed with honor, and another album with 31 calligraphy and painting pieces. Unexpectedly, on the day of my lecture, Dr. Sardar gave us an extra gift. She first displayed a massive flower painting, presented to the Drumrights on March 7, 1962, on the eve of Ambassador Drumright's departure, by Ambassador Shen Chang-huan and his wife, Shen Li Len. The painting was as long as 2 8-foot tables. At the time, the artist was unknown. Later, I spent considerable time studying the poem and seals on the painting and identified the artist as Ding Wenwei, 1827 to 1890, also known as Lan Shu, a Qing dynasty painter. After the lecture, a friend told me she almost moved to tears upon seeing this painting, as she had never seen such a magnificent and grand Chinese painting before. Later, while viewing Mo Yin Yuan, the first piece was the aforementioned calligraphy by President Chiang Kai-shek to Mrs. Drumright. As Dr. Sardar flipped through the album, I suddenly heard someone exclaim, "This person is her teacher." It was a calligraphy by Tan Shu. For my female student, Fu Lanji, the Tao follows nature. This was the first time I learned Mrs. Florence Drumright's Chinese name was Fu Lanji and that she had a calligraphy teacher. On May 18, 2015, Dr. Little returned to reveal the results of the authentication. During lunch, I first met Anita Feldman, the newly arrived Director of Curatorial Affairs of the SDMA. After lunch, I asked her if she was interested in my research on Chinese paintings. She said, "Of course," and had her assistant schedule a meeting with me. We met again the next morning. After reviewing my summary report, she immediately said, "This should be made public." I replied, "Yes." She then took me to see the museum director, but unfortunately, she was not there. In the end, she obtained my permission to photocopy my summary report and said, "From now on, you can view all the paintings." I responded, "I will list the paintings I wish to see in advance, and you can let me know when I can visit." She said okay. That afternoon, her assistant called again, asking if I could view paintings with Pan Gongkai the next day. I agreed without hesitation. Pan Gongkai, former president of the Central Academy of Fine Arts, and I had met him twice before at the international symposium organized by my art teacher, Master Wu Yi, in 2008. Thus, I began the rare opportunity to view paintings with President Pan on May 21st and 22nd, followed by 5 additional visits to the vault. President Pan selected 70 paintings but not this calligraphy album. Therefore, when I went on my own later, I immediately requested to see this album. As good things often come with difficulties, when the album finally showed up, my phone ran out of battery. Realizing this after returning home, I immediately called the registrar, Ms. Joyce Penn. She kindly offered to take photos and send them to me. When they arrived, I found only 10 pieces, not 20. During my next visit, I requested to see the album again. To my surprise, upon returning home, there were still only 10 pieces. During my third visit, I requested to see it once more. After reviewing it, there were still 10 pieces. I asked her, could there be another album stored elsewhere? She said, that shouldn't be the case. This album is catalogued as 20 numbers, means 20 pieces. We were both disappointed and about giving up. Suddenly she exclaimed joyfully, "Found it!" Determined, she had flipped the album over several times and discovered that on the back there are more calligraphies. It turned out to be that the teacher, Tan Shu, mounted calligraphies on both sides to allow her student, Mrs. Florence Drumright, to carry and study the album conveniently. From the front there are 10 pieces and from the back another 9 pieces. Plus the calligraphy on the cover, making 20 pieces in total. Finally, I could see all the names of the calligraphers. Since Tan Shu created this album in 1961, then I used the official positions or academic titles of these calligraphers at that time to create this organizational chart, including the president, vice president, ministry heads, and university professors. They were: President, Chiang Kai-shek; Vice President and Premier, Chen Cheng; Secretary General of the Presidential Office, Zhang Qun; Founder of the National Palace Museum, Li Yuying, styled Shi Zhang; President of Academia Sinica, Hu Shi; Central Bank Governor, Su Po-yuan; Chairman of the National Assembly, Ying-chin; Vice Premier, Wang Yun-wo; Governor of Taiwan Province, Zhou Ji-ro; Chairman of the Veterans Affairs Council and later President, 1978 to 1988, Ching-Kuo; General Manager of the Bank of Taiwan, Zhong Rong. In the field of education, there were the followings: Normal University Professor and Mrs. Drumright's calligraphy teacher, Tan Shu; Chairman of the Calligraphy Association and Professor at Central University, Soochow University, and World College of Journalism, Cheng Cang Bo; Master of Cursive Clerical Script and Ching-Kuo's calligraphy teacher, Zhua Junyang; National Assembly Representative and Madam Chiang Kai-shek, Sung Mei Ling's calligraphy teacher, Zhang Man-ching; Renowned calligrapher, seal carver, and Normal University professor, Wang Chuang-wei; and Xiong Shi Yi of Hong Kong Tsinghua College. I never imagined that this calligraphy album would include so many prominent figures from the political and educational circles of the time. How did Tan Shu manage to invite so many high-ranking government officials to write calligraphy for her student, Florence Drumright? Did she have frequent access to the presidential office? So, who was she exactly? Please find the answers in the next episode.